everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we are tackling something that a lot of you have been asking about: Amazon's permanent work from home policy and all of those sweet, sweet remote job opportunities that are popping up because of it.
It's definitely been making waves.
Yeah, and that's why we wanted to get this deep dive out to you ASAP.
Right.
So you can have like a head start in this evolving job market because, let's be honest, it's changing really quickly.
For sure.
Okay, so we found this really helpful YouTube video that basically breaks down exactly how to find and apply for these Amazon remote positions.
Awesome.
Yeah, right. And get this video claims that there are literally over 500 full-time remote jobs at Amazon right now, plus tons of part-time gigs too.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is, right. And it's not just limited to the US either.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're hiring remotely in like the UK, Italy, the Netherlands, like all over the place.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so in this deep dive, we're going to walk you through exactly how to navigate Amazon's job portal, understand the specific requirements for these remote roles, and of course, craft an application that'll make you stand out from the crowd.
Sounds good.
Okay, so first up, let's talk about this whole work from home revolution that's happening. I mean, Amazon is a trillion-dollar company, and they are going all in on remote work.
Yeah, it's a huge shift, and I think it really speaks to the growing demand for flexible work arrangements. I mean, let's face it, people want more control over their lives and their work schedules, and companies like Amazon, well, they're realizing that embracing remote work can give them a competitive advantage.
It's like they're saying, we want the best talent, and if that means letting them work from their couch in their pajamas, then so be it.
Exactly.
Okay, so now let's get down to the nitty-gritty. How do we actually find these remote jobs? Well, according to the video, the first step is heading over to Amazon's job portal. That's amazon.jobs for all of you taking notes. But then you can't just type in remote jobs and call it a day. The video actually emphasizes the importance of using specific keywords and filters in your search. Like, for example, you want to make sure that you are actually typing remote into the location tab.
That's key. It is.
And then you also want to select the work from home category just to really make sure that you are seeing all of the relevant positions.
Makes sense.
And another thing the video points out, and this is crucial, you have to keep checking back regularly.
Oh, that's a good point.
New jobs are being added all the time, so don't just assume that if you don't see something today, there won't be anything tomorrow. Persistence is key.
Right.
Okay, so let's say you've done all of that, you're on Amazon.jobs, you've filtered your search, and you've come across a position that piques your interest. One of the roles that the video specifically highlights, and it seems like there's a ton of demand for this right now, is the virtual customer care advisor.
Uh-huh.
Now, on the surface, it seems pretty straightforward, right? You're basically helping customers virtually, answering questions, resolving issues, that sort of thing. But I have a feeling there's more to it than that. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. The video actually dives into some of the specific responsibilities, and it's clear that Amazon's looking for people who are not just good at customer service, but who also have excellent communication skills, a knack for problem solving, and of course, that all-important ability to manage their time effectively, especially when they're working remotely.
Makes sense. I mean, you're basically your own boss when you're working from home.
Exactly.
So you have to be able to stay on track and get things done, even when there's no one looking over your shoulder. Oh, and by the way, did I mention that the video even hints at some of the funny customer feedback and reviews you might come across?
No way, really?
Yeah, apparently it can get pretty wild out there in the world of customer service. You never know what people are going to say or ask.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so let's say you've got the skills, you found a position you're interested in. What's next? How do you actually make your application stand out? Okay, so you've aced the application process and landed that awesome remote job at Amazon. Congrats. But now the real work begins.
Yeah, it's one thing to get the job, but how do you actually make sure you're thriving in this new work-from-home environment?
That's the million-dollar question, right? And thankfully, our YouTube video has some great tips for that, too. One of the things they emphasize, and it might seem obvious, is the importance of time management.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
When you're setting your own schedule, it's really easy to let things slide,
Oh, tell me about it. Suddenly the dishes look really appealing, or you're like, I should probably reorganize my entire closet right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the video actually acknowledges that. Like, it's not about pretending those distractions don't exist. It's about finding ways to manage them. One of the tips they mention is creating a dedicated workspace.
Yeah, yes. The elusive home office.
Right. But even if you don't have like a whole extra room to dedicate to work, it's about carving out a space in your home that is specifically for work.
Like a corner in your living room or even just your kitchen table.
Yeah, exactly. As long as it's a designated area where you can sit down and focus.
It's about sending that signal to your brain. Okay, it's work time now.
Right. And it's not just about the physical space either.
No.
No, it's also about those mental boundaries. The video talks about the importance of setting a schedule and actually sticking to it.
Even when you have the flexibility to work whenever you want.
Exactly. It takes discipline, for sure.
Oh, definitely. But it's also kind of empowering in a way, you know?
Totally. And then, of course, there's communication.
Oh, right. That's crucial when you're working remotely.
You have to be even more intentional about staying connected with your team and your manager.
Like checking in regularly, being proactive with your communication, making sure everyone's on the same page.
Right. The video also talks about using virtual meetings, not just for work updates, but for team bonding and just casual conversations too. It's about recreating those,
Oh, like the water cooler moments.
exactly, those
Yeah.
water cooler moments, even if it's through a screen.
I love that. Virtual water cooler chats. Okay, so we've covered the time management piece, the communication piece, but what about just those individual challenges that come with working remotely? Like feeling isolated or unmotivated when you're not surrounded by colleagues.
Yeah, that's real. That's a real struggle for a lot of people. And I think it's where self-awareness comes in. The video really emphasizes the importance of understanding your own work style, what you need to be productive, and to actually thrive in a remote environment.
Yeah, some people need a lot of structure while others need more flexibility.
Exactly. It's about figuring out what works for you, and then, and this is key, communicating that to your team. Like if you're struggling with something, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Right, because you're not alone in this.
Nope. Amazon has a ton of resources to support their remote employees, and your manager is there to help you succeed. So, yeah, it's a team effort, even when the team is spread out all over the place.
That's a good point. Okay, so
Yeah.
we've talked about time management, communication, self-awareness, but I'm curious, what does it actually mean to thrive in a remote role?
That's a good question. I think it boils down to finding that balance between productivity and well-being.
So it's not just about getting your work done.
No, it's about creating a work environment that supports both your professional goals and your personal life. It's about feeling fulfilled and energized both in and outside of work.
Because at the end of the day, that's what really matters, right? Feeling good about the work you're doing and having the time and energy to enjoy life outside of work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so as we head into the final part of this deep dive, maybe take a moment to think about your own work style and what you would need to truly thrive in a remote role.
Yeah, think about your strengths, what motivates you, and what your non-negotiables are when it comes to work-life balance.
Okay, so we're back and ready to wrap up our deep dive into Amazon's remote job scene. We've covered a lot of ground, from finding those hidden gems on Amazon's job portal to figuring out how to actually thrive in a work-from-home setup.
Right. And now it's time to get really tactical and explore some specific strategies for making remote work, especially at a company like Amazon, really work for you.
Okay, so less theory, more action.
Exactly. And thankfully, our YouTube guru gives us some solid advice.
Okay, lay it on us.
Well, they really hammer home the importance of having a dedicated workspace, which I know we've touched on already, but it's so easy to underestimate how much our environment, impacts our productivity.
Yeah, it's true. Like trying to work from your bed, sure, it's comfy, but it's not exactly screaming, get stuff done. But even if you don't have a whole room to turn into an office, just having that separation, that mental shift
Yeah.
from home mode to work mode can make a world of difference.
And the video actually takes it a step further and talks about the ergonomics of your workspace. Like, are you sitting comfortably? Do you have good lighting?
Oh, right, those little things.
Yeah. But they can actually make or break your productivity and well-being in the long run.
So we're talking about more than just a desk and a chair. We're talking about creating a space that actually supports, like, your physical and mental health.
Exactly.
And speaking of health, I'm guessing this ties into the video's emphasis on taking breaks, right?
Oh, absolutely. They really stress the importance of getting up from your computer, moving around, just giving your brain a break, not just for your physical health, but for your mental clarity too.
Yeah, like hitting the reset button.
Exactly.
Okay, but what about those times when you're feeling stuck, unmotivated, like you're just in a rut? Any advice for those inevitable work from home slumps?
Well, one thing the video suggests is actually communicating, but not just with your colleagues or your manager, with yourself.
Like, have a conversation with yourself.
Well, kind of. It's more about checking in with your own goals, your motivations.
Like a pep talk.
Yeah, kind of. reminding yourself why you're doing this, what you want to achieve, and even acknowledging those feelings of frustration or overwhelm. Because, let's be real, they happen.
Oh, they definitely happen. Okay, so beyond those individual strategies, the video also talks about the importance of building a strong remote work culture.
Right, even if you're a part of a larger company like Amazon.
So it's about fostering that sense of connection, even when you're not physically together. Any tips on how to do that?
Well, they suggest being proactive, reaching out to colleagues, not just for work stuff, but just for casual conversations.
Oh, okay. Like just to chat,
Yeah, just to check in.
recreate those like hallway conversations or, those coffee break moments.
Exactly. And of course, virtual team building activities.
Oh, right. Like online games or book clubs.
Yeah, anything that helps you connect with your colleagues on a more personal level.
It's like building that virtual water cooler. Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to bring it back to that idea of thriving in a remote role. It's not just about getting tasks done, it's about creating a work life that you actually enjoy.
Right, and that's where the video leaves us with this great question to ponder.
Oh, what's that?
It asks, what unique skills or experiences can you bring to a remote role at Amazon, and how can you best showcase those in your application?
Good question. It's like it's challenging us to think beyond our resume, to think about those less tangible skills, like our adaptability, our communication style, our self-motivation, all those things that are so crucial when you're working remotely.
Exactly. It's about figuring out what makes you you, what makes you valuable, and then letting that shine through in your application, in your interviews, and in your everyday work.
I love that. Okay, so as we say goodbye to this Amazon remote jobs deep dive, I hope you're feeling informed, inspired, and maybe even a little bit empowered to go out there and explore those remote work opportunities.
Yeah, the world of work is changing, and remote work is here to stay. It's an exciting time to be shaping your career and finding a path that really aligns with your values and your lifestyle.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So until next time, happy job hunting, everyone.